In the mountains of Lebanon stands a mystery carved in stone. At the ancient site of Baalbek, massive blocks of rock, each weighing around 800 tons, are perfectly positioned in a towering platform. 800 tons is an almost unthinkable weight. That's about as heavy as 2 fully loaded jumbo jets. Yet these megalithic stones were cut and moved nearly 2 millennia ago, long before the invention of modern machinery. How on earth did ancient builders accomplish this feat? The question of how Baalbek's colossal stones were transported and set in place has baffled historians and engineers for decades, defying any easy explanation.
Baalbek, known to the Romans as Heliopolis, was home to one of antiquity's grandest temple complexes, dedicated to the god Jupiter. To create an awe-inspiring foundation for this temple, the builders employed some of the largest building blocks ever used by any civilization. 3 of these gigantic stones, called the trilithon, form part of the temple's base. Each one is almost 60 feet in length and so heavy that even the biggest blocks at Stonehenge would seem like pebbles in comparison. These monoliths were quarried from solid limestone in a pit about half a mile away, then somehow transported to the construction site and lifted into position. The achievement is staggering. Even today, moving a single stone that size would require specialized heavy cranes. Yet the engineers of Baalbek accomplished it with nothing more advanced than ropes, wood, and sheer human muscle. For centuries, those who beheld these ruins struggled to imagine how they were built, and in the absence of clear answers, legends arose. Some local stories claim that Baalbek's platform was erected by giants on the orders of the biblical king Nimrod, or even by Cain, the son of Adam, seeking to hide from God's wrath. Other tales insist the blocks were put in place by King Solomon, aided by an army of jinn, supernatural beings. And one legend even explains that the reason a few huge stones still lie in the quarry is because the jinn builders went on strike. In modern times, wild theories abound that ancient astronauts turned Baalbek into a landing pad due to its enormous scale. These fantastical stories all underscore one point. To past generations, the feats at Baalbek seemed almost beyond the reach of ordinary humans. Yet, as sensational as these theories are, archaeologists have found evidence that the true story, while more down to earth, is equally awe-inspiring. The construction of Baalbek's Great Terrace was a triumph of human engineering and grit. One crucial clue lies in the local landscape. The colossal blocks were cut from a limestone quarry on higher ground, just uphill from the temple site. This meant the builders did not need to lift an 800-ton block straight up into the air. Instead, they could exploit gravity and a gentle slope to help move the stones downhill. It appears they built a broad ramp or roadway of packed earth from the quarry to the temple foundation. By placing each giant block on a series of hefty wooden rollers or a greased sled, the ancient engineers could then drag it along this path. Teams of oxen and hundreds of workers would have slowly hauled the monoliths forward, inch by inch, until the stones reached their intended position. Picture the scene. A small army of laborers heaves in unison, their voices calling out in coordinated rhythm as a stone the size of a house creeps forward on log rollers. Historical records from the Roman world suggest that thousands of workers might have been marshaled for projects of this scale, all coordinated by skilled engineers. They likely employed devices called capstans, large human-powered winches, to wind up thick ropes and gradually winch the blocks forward, multiplying the force of each pull. Even with rollers and winches, friction was a constant enemy. But the builders of Baalbek were clever. They could have lubricated the route with water, oil, or wet clay to make the massive stones slide more easily. In fact, modern experiments have shown that wetting or oiling a path can dramatically reduce friction, making it feasible to move enormous weights with far fewer people than one might think. By combining well-understood techniques, leverage, lubrication, and sheer manpower, the people of Baalbek were able to inch these megaliths into place. It was all done with human skill and sweat, no magic or alien technology required. Incredibly, as researchers continued to study Baalbek, they found that the ancient quarry holds an even greater prize, a stone block of staggering size that was never transported at all. In 2014, a team of archaeologists uncovered this forgotten monolith still protruding from the earth. It measures roughly 64 feet in length and is estimated to weigh about 1,650 tons. That is more than double the weight of the trilithon stones, equivalent to roughly 4 jumbo jets lined up. This titanic block was apparently intended for the temple's foundation as well, but it seems the builders finally met their match. Perhaps after cutting it, they realized moving a stone of that magnitude was beyond their means, or the temple plans changed before they could attempt it. Whatever the case, the block remains in the quarry today, a testament to the boundless ambition of those ancient builders. They were literally pushing the limits of what could be done with stone and manpower. Even after all this investigation, Baalbek's megaliths continue to awe and mystify. We are getting closer to understanding how the ancients might have done it, but many details remain elusive. Why did the builders go to such extremes in the first place? Perhaps the Roman engineers wanted an indestructible platform that would last for the ages, or maybe each massive block was a statement of imperial power meant to astound all who gazed upon it. Whatever their reasons, the result has certainly achieved its goal. 2,000 years later, the stones of Baalbek still inspire nothing short of awe. Baalbek is just one chapter in the world's ancient mysteries. Next, we venture even further back in time to investigate a discovery so old it might date to before the legendary Great Flood, and so advanced it seems impossible for any known civilization to have built. This astonishing find could upend our understanding of prehistory, and you won't want to miss what we uncover in the next episode.
It was the view, very firm view of archaeologists, that there had been no megalithic architecture. When I say megalithic, I mean literally big stones, stone circles, huge constructions, nothing like that before 6,000 years ago. Central to my work was the notion of a global cataclysm, roughly 12,500, 12,800 years ago. They are not saying that it also wiped out a lost advanced civilization of prehistory. I'm saying that.
In the heart of Lebanon's Bekaa Valley lies an ancient wonder that defies the sands of time, the Baalbek Temple Complex.
This is Baalbek in the Lebanon. Each of these 3 blocks weighs 900 tons.
Home to some of the largest and most mysterious stone blocks ever used in construction, these colossal remnants of the Roman Empire's grandeur weigh as much as 1,650 tons each, more than an entire fleet of blue whales. How these stones were transported and precisely set into place remains one of history's most captivating puzzles.
I don't know how they did it. All I know is they did it. I don't think anybody knows how they did it, how they lifted those stones, how they brought them up to that level.
Join us as we delve into the enigmatic world of Baalbek, where ancient engineering meets modern curiosity, challenging everything we thought we knew about human ingenuity.
A Roman site for sure, but what about this bizarre enclosure wall that surrounds it?
Nestled in the fertile Bekaa Valley of Lebanon, the ancient site of Baalbek is a testament to architectural and cultural grandeur spanning thousands of years. Known as Heliopolis during the Hellenistic period, Baalbek's journey began as a modest Phoenician town named Baalath, dedicated to the worship of Baal, a god associated with the sun and storms, pivotal to the agricultural rituals of its people. The transformation of Baalbek accelerated following its conquest by Alexander the Great in 334 BC. Under Alexander, the city absorbed Greek cultural and architectural elements, emblematic of his broader strategy to fuse Greek and local traditions across the regions he conquered. This Hellenistic influence set the stage for Baalbek's later architectural evolution under the Romans, who saw the city's strategic and religious potential.
What archaeologists say, they found they could move 900-ton blocks, but 1,000 tons was too much for them.
Roman architects and engineers embarked on an ambitious construction agenda in the 1st century BC, which saw Baalbek grow into a grand ceremonial center. The centerpiece was the Temple of Jupiter, one of the largest temples in the Roman Empire, featuring 54 massive granite columns, each standing 70 feet tall. Today, only 6 of these majestic columns remain, but they continue to dominate the landscape, offering a window into what was an architectural marvel of the ancient world. Nearby, the Temple of Bacchus stands as a testament to Roman decorative art and architectural detail, with its well-preserved carvings depicting mythological scenes and festivities. Not far from these, the Temple of Venus showcases a unique circular design, breaking from traditional Roman architectural norms and highlighting a syncretic blend of Roman and local religious practices. Baalbek's construction feats, especially the transportation and placement of massive limestone blocks, draw parallels with other ancient marvels like the Egyptian pyramids and Stonehenge, showcasing the Romans' advanced engineering techniques.
Look at the famous King's Chamber. Its walls and its ceiling of the King's Chamber are all made with gigantic blocks.
The site was not just an architectural statement, but also a cultural hub, attracting pilgrims and spectators from across the empire to its religious festivals and games, blending Roman and local traditions in grand displays of public celebration. In comparison to other monumental Roman sites like the Pantheon in Rome, Baalbek stands out for its scale and the complexity involved in erecting such gigantic structures far from the Roman heartland. The Pantheon, with its massive dome and oculus, reflects similar ambitions in Roman architectural prowess, but in a vastly different urban setting. Both sites, however, illustrate the Roman Empire's architectural ambition and its ability to mobilize resources and technology across its vast territories. The stone blocks of Baalbek, particularly within the Temple of Jupiter complex, represent some of the most astonishing elements of ancient architecture found anywhere in the world. These massive stones serve as a testament to the extraordinary engineering prowess of their builders. Their construction techniques and capabilities continue to spark both fascination and scholarly debate. At the heart of the complex sits the trilithon, a trio of stone blocks that form the podium of the Temple of Jupiter. Each stone measures roughly 64 feet in length, 13 feet in height, and 14 feet in width, and weighs about 800 tons. The precision with which these gigantic stones are fitted together, without any mortar, is truly remarkable. Such an engineering feat required not only advanced planning and ample resources, but also the ingenious use of simple machines like levers and inclined planes, combined with significant human and mechanical effort. Just about 900 meters from the main temple complex, in a nearby quarry, lies the Stone of the Pregnant Woman.
The quarry contains a number of very large blocks that were never transported.
This monolith, approximately 69 feet long and weighing around 1,000 tons, has never been moved from where it was originally cut. The stone's name comes from a local legend suggesting that touching the stone can ensure a safe and easy delivery for pregnant women, highlighting the cultural and superstitious significance these ancient stones hold within local folklore. In 2014, an even larger stone was unearthed in the same quarry.
Why only recently excavated? Because the whole site was covered in sedimentation.
At 64 feet in length and estimated to weigh about 1,650 tons, it stands as the largest known stone ever carved by human hands. This discovery significantly expanded our understanding of the capabilities of ancient engineers and their technological advancements. Comparing these megalithic stones to other ancient wonders provides further context to their impressive nature. For instance, while Stonehenge in England is renowned for its circular arrangement of standing stones, the largest of these stones weighs merely about 30 tons, far less than the massive blocks of Baalbek. The construction of Stonehenge involved transporting stones over long distances, presenting a different type of logistical challenge and ingenuity. However, the sheer scale and weight of the Baalbek stones showcase an unparalleled architectural ambition in the ancient world. Similarly, when we consider the Egyptian pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid of Giza, the limestone blocks typically weigh between 2 to 15 tons, with the largest granite stones in the King's Chamber weighing between 25 to 80 tons.
Now, Egyptologists will tell you that, they could move heavy blocks because they put them on wet sand and they push them along on wet sand. Maybe if you're just at ground level, that will do, but when you're 350 feet above the ground, as you are in the King's Chamber, that won't do at all.
The stones of Baalbek far exceed these in size, highlighting the unique challenges and skills required for their transport and placement. Unlike the primarily tomb-like structures of the Giza pyramids, Baalbek's temples served ceremonial and religious functions, indicating diverse uses of massive stones across ancient civilizations. This comparison not only illustrates the monumental scale of Baalbek's construction, but also underscores the diverse architectural and cultural expressions of ancient societies. The Baalbek temple complex, with its colossal stone blocks, stands as one of the greatest engineering achievements of the ancient world. The tasks involved in constructing this monumental site weren't just about brute strength. They required meticulous planning, advanced organizational skills, and a deep understanding of physics and engineering principles. These elements combined challenge our modern perceptions of ancient technology and showcase the ingenuity of our ancestors. The architectural grandeur of Baalbek was no accident. It reflected the Roman Empire's immense ambition and its desire to display power and divine favor. The sheer scale of the temples served multiple purposes, both religious and political, reinforcing the might of Rome and the sanctity of the location. This complex was designed to awe and affirm the presence of Roman authority in the region. The transportation of the massive stones is believed to have been primarily conducted using rollers made from large tree trunks, with the stones themselves placed on sledges. These sledges, acting as platforms, helped distribute the weight of the stones and prevented the rollers from sinking into the ground. Historical texts even mention the use of olive oil as a lubricant on the paths, a technique that significantly reduced friction, making it easier to move these enormous weights over considerable distances. The placement of these giant stones remains a subject of debate among historians. Techniques such as the use of wooden cranes, which were similar to those used in medieval constructions, likely played a role. These cranes, utilizing ropes, pulleys, and possibly treadwheels, would have amplified the force exerted by humans or animals. Another plausible technique involved constructing large earth ramps, which would have provided a gradual incline to drag the stones into their precise positions. Lever systems, employing long wooden beams to lift and position stones, might have also been used, requiring less material than ramps, but a greater understanding of leverage mechanics. Drawing parallels, the construction techniques theorized for Baalbek closely resemble those hypothesized for the building of the Egyptian pyramids, particularly the Pyramid of Giza. Like Baalbek, the transportation of the pyramid stones likely involved sledges and possibly rollers, with the use of water as a lubricant depicted in ancient Egyptian wall paintings. For lifting, the Egyptians are believed to have utilized a combination of ramps and lever systems. Constructed over a millennium before Baalbek, the pyramids highlight a continuity in complex engineering techniques that span cultures and ages, underscoring a shared architectural heritage in the ancient world. This shared legacy speaks volumes about the ingenuity embedded in ancient construction practices, linking disparate cultures through their monumental achievements.